Hey guys, Lewis here, and welcome to the first episode of my new series, dedicated to reviewing bronze and silver inform players. There's a lot of lower ranked informs that get overlooked by reviewers, so I'm going to try and fill the niche that is in that market. We'll be starting off the series with a very well known player, and one that I'm sure many people are anticipating and waiting for. That man is Inform Akinfenwa, the brick wall who plays up front for Northampton Town. If you've ever watched a KSI video, which I'm sure most of you have, you will already be too familiar with the guy. If not, he is an English striker who plays in the 4th League in England. As you can see on the screen, he has 3-star weak foot and only 2-star skills. At only 5'10", he isn't the tallest of players, but what he lacks in his height he makes up for in his strength. His inform card has 99 strength, and it is certainly something that is shown in the game. You can see his in-game stats in the bottom right corner of the screen, but besides his strength, the other noticeable stats are his decent finishing and heading and his blisteringly slow pace. This pace, added with his low attacking and defensive work rates, pretty much means he'll cover less ground than nearly every other player in the game. The last thing to mention before I move on to the review is his price. At the time I created the video, this was about the average of what he was selling for. However, I expect this will fluctuate quite a lot in the following days and even weeks, so make sure you check Ultimate Database, which there is a link for that in the description, for his current price. Moving on with the review, on screen is the team that I used him in, which is already a pretty strong bronze team. And to ensure I gave him a balanced review, I tried him in both striker positions, as the central attacking midfielder and also as the central defensive midfielder. It seems pretty weird playing a striker as a CDM, but Akinfenwa is one that may just be able to pull it off. Having played with him for a couple of dozen games, I can honestly say he was very fun to use. He has a very nice finesse shot, which means playing him on the left and cutting onto his right foot gives a strong chance of scoring. His left foot finesse is however noticeably weaker and should pretty much be avoided. This isn't the same for his power shots though, as anywhere inside the area he'll pretty much hammer it into the back of the net. For one-on-ones with the keeper, you're pretty much guaranteed a goal. His long shots I did find very hit and miss. Again, from just outside the area, he can normally find the back of the net, or at least force a decent save from the keeper. However, from over 30 yards, it seemed very random about the placement. Sometimes they flew straight in, other times they barely picked up enough speed or even accuracy to get them on target. The next thing I want to talk about is his speed. At 51 pace, he is obviously very slow. However, I didn't find his pace to be as bad as I anticipated. When running with the ball, or even without the ball, it feels closer to a high 60-70 pace. And the fact that he has 99 strength pretty much means that players have to run in front of him and then tackle him, because he is impossible to shrug off the ball. So although his pace is slow, it's not as bad as I imagined. So don't let that put you off. When using Akinfenwa, I found that his best position is certainly the centre forward or central attacking midfielder role. This way he gets quite a lot of time on the ball, and his pace isn't too much of an issue regardless. With only 2-star skill moves, he obviously lacks the roulette, so the best way to beat defenders is to simply stop and start with fake shots, and also left and right ball rolls seem to beat defenders quite well. I found getting past players an easier task than I imagined, so that was something that I was quite surprised with. Surprisingly, he is very good at the central defensive midfielder slot. Although his tackling stats don't suggest that he would be, his strength means that you can pretty much run directly into the players and nick the ball off them without even needing to press a button. So although he only has low slide tackling and standing tackling, his 99 strength makes them feel a lot better than they actually are. I found having him as a striker probably the worst position. He had very little time on the ball and got involved in the game far less than the other positions. If you are going to use him as a striker, then I'd recommend putting him on the left hand side so you can use his right foot finesse like I mentioned earlier. Overall, I found him very fun to use, and he was a big improvement over his non-inform. Whether he justifies his extremely high price tag is all a matter of personal opinion. If you have the coins lying around, then go for it. If he will take up the whole of your budget, you're probably better off investing the coins across multiple players and building a stronger team that way. What I would say though is that if these exact same stats and attributes were put onto another 5'10" striker from Northampton Town, his price would probably be well under 100,000. So what you'll find is you're really paying for the name more so than the stats. But nonetheless, he was a very fun player to use, and one that you should definitely look out to try when you find a price that suits you. I'd like to thank you for watching the video. If you did enjoy it and found it useful, please feel free to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more informed reviews in the future, and by all means comment with a player you'd like to see me review.
England porque só legitimately subscribe to Sir Lewis.